Hey y'all, welcome back to Technique Tuesday. It's your girl Diamond Alexis, and I'm just getting straight into it. I already did my brows off cam. I forgot the technique we finna do, but we finna see. So I'm gonna go into the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. This primer is comparable to the baby pores that you can see get in the not the beauty supply, like Walgreens. That's the Juvia's Place. My shade is 330, but the baby pores, it's like a light blue tube. I'm not gonna lie, a little of this goes a long way. As you can see, I have like little spots of pigmentation. But yeah, for the most part, my skin is pretty okay. It used to be worse than that. But a little goes a long way. You don't want to put any foundation underneath your eyes. That is the technique that we're using. This is supposed to be a creaseless technique. That was the I think Tan Sand elf concealer. Yeah, that is that. So you want to just make sure that you use the concealer only on the parts where you're trying to highlight it at, but make sure there's no foundation underneath. This is who I'm crediting where I found this unique technique from. They made sure to make the concealer cover the entire top lip. And also I actually did two different techniques. That's the one who said don't put any foundation underneath the eyes. The actual shape, the way that I'm doing it, was from the first person, and their information will be linked. You want to make sure you also do that cut on the side of the corners of the eyes. Put some on your chin, and this is basically me showing you what you should look like. And we're gonna blend this out with a beauty blender. Make sure your beauty blender is clean. Mine isn't dirty. I had just used it for foundation on the other side. Fan it, like put some air on it so that it can dry down opaque. And I always suggest when doing concealer, put enough to cover the surface and also let it dry down. When you let it dry down a little bit, you get the true color that it's supposed to be. It doesn't have to be dry down to the fact that you'll have a hard time blending it out, but you want it to be at least halfway dry so that you can get the true color that it is. So in case you didn't want to go in heavy like I did, you'll still get a true tone. I hope this makes sense, but always let your concealer dry down a little bit. That's just my advice that I love to give. For the contour, we're gonna go ahead and put that on nose, cheeks, and your forehead. You want to blend it up to meet your concealer. You don't want to blend it down. You want to continue and make everything look consistent and seamless as one. So now we'll be going into the concealed area. You want to make sure to keep it controlled in the area that it's in, and we're taking the beauty blender with the side with no foundation on it. You want to make sure to keep the highlighted area controlled. So if it's set in one place, you don't want to go all the way down into your cheeks. If it's put under your eye, keep it under your eye. You see how I'm maintaining my technique? Even if you have to turn the sponge a bit, squeeze it, like anything you have to do to keep your technique, do that. Going in with the nose contour, I took a flat, kind of fluffy brush a little bit, but like for the most part you want it one shape. And I'm starting at the tip of my eyebrow, and I'm blending it into that so it can look seamless. And you're just gonna blend it. And after that, you want to touch up on the sides with the beauty blender to make sure everything looks as one. You don't want anything looking separated. For the part closer to the corners of my eyes, it's a little bit wet because I want it to dry down a little bit more before I go back in. And you'll see me do that. If you see some areas of your makeup that doesn't look blended, take the side that you did the foundation with and you want to just make sure to blend it in. That'll help it give it a seamless look instead of going in and adding more and more product. Just use your beauty blender to the best of your ability. So what I like to do is I don't use one side for everything. I switch it, turn it around, squeeze it. I do different things. That was the Ben Nye Nutriset translucent powder, colorless powder, I'm sorry. But yeah, so you want to make sure to use different sides. Like I would always use the pointed end for the foundation, use the slanted side for the contour, if that makes sense. If you want a video on, I might do that anyway, even if nobody asks, but how I use my brushes, beauty blenders, whatever, I can do that and, you know, show you how that works. For the powder, I like to blend it in. I don't like to dust it off. You see how smooth it makes the concealer look? Then we'll go in and we'll bronze up, but it makes the concealer look so smooth and seamless versus you dusting it off. I just love to blend it in with a damp beauty blender. And then I'm going in and I'm taking the Coco Naughty, Yeah, Fenty bronzer, and I'm bronzing up, going in with my beauty blender, and I'm meeting every part that looks separated. This is the medium dark 6 from Patrick Star. It's the foundation powder, and I'm basically just going in. So it's kind of like the Sephora micro smoothing powder. You're just going over with something that's more of your shade to further help the seamlessness. This is medium dark 1, the foundation powder from Patrick Star. This adds more of a brightness and helps me prevent creases too, because that powder, child, that's some good powder. Like, it's really good. I like it. Like, I could possibly replace that for any of the powders that I have. Like, it's really good. This is Caramel Cutie from oh, that was the name, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the bronzer, but I'm basically using that as my eyeshadow today, so it's gonna further help my nose contour. So yeah, and now I'm going in with the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray, my favorite misty setting spray, and it smells so good. It only sprayed on my lips. But yeah, look at that. Y'all, I like to swim in my setting spray because I need my face set. Okay? No, ma'am. I need it set. I spray 10 sprays. Minimum. That's the Inglot 77 black eyeliner. I go ahead with the end of a brush. If you want to use a Q-tip, you can. That's what I like to use for clients. You can use a brush, whatever you want to use. Fenty mascara. I love to go in with a pretty bottom lash. That's my favorite. Then I'm using the Fenty highlighter, the Sangria. I forgot the other shade's name. And I go in. At first I was just going to use the orange, but I use both. No, I use the Warriors in the pink. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so the orange one gives me like a glow. And then, you see that? Oh, that looks so good. Y'all. And this is the finished look. I also used a lip combo from my video. If you haven't looked at that, check that out. I gave a lot of good lip combos. I gave 10 of them, and that was one of them. So let me know what you think. If you'll try this technique out. Thank you for watching.